All right, welcome everybody to the episode 2 of Terry and Larry's basketball podcast. I'm Terry.
Get it? I'm Larry.
All right, and today we have a lot to talk about regarding the current playoff games going on right now and the upcoming draft. Now the lottery is done, and we're going to talk about a little bit of future about our two bum-ass teams, the Suns and the Knicks.
Well, one is more bum-ass than the other, but, it's all good.
One always is. Anyways.
Yes.
So today, I am thinking we start off with something fun, and we both love Inside the NBA, right? And I don't know if Larry here is better than Chuck at the classic game of who he played for. So we're gonna start. We're gonna start out with a couple players that, it's gonna go increase in difficulty, but we're gonna go with a couple more well-known players, and let's really test Larry's basketball knowledge. Right.
Let's do it.
And
let's do it. I'm a basketball genius, by the way, so this should be easy. Get easy money.
Yeah. And you're not about you're not about to do this to me, because remember when we used to do the name like any team, I can name like 10 players on their team.
Oh yeah. You did that OD.
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm just nuts. All right, we're gonna start off easy. All right. So Larry, first player, who does Patrick Patterson play for?
Oh, easy, Clippers.
Oh, very nice.
Wait, you mean you leak code easy, nice. Terry? I leak code every day.
Yeah, I mean, PPAT, Raptors OG, shout out to PPAT. All right, that's good. All right, number 2. Who does Willie Cauley-Stein play for?
Unless they traded him.
What?
In the deadline.
Yeah. So
I still say Warriors. Oh, or... I think Warriors or Atlanta. My final answer, Atlanta.
And he is playing for the Mavericks.
Ah, the Mavericks.
Right.
They traded him this deadline then.
Right. I don't even remember who they traded.
Yeah, what was it?
I think it was like a second rounder or something like that. So yeah, 2020 second round pick.
Yeah, has he played?
He has, but he has been injured. So
okay, fair enough.
A little bit. I mean, that was a good. I actually like that trade for the Mavs because I felt like the Mavs needed a backup center. But
yeah, they do.
Yeah, I was so high on Willie Cauley-Stein, man. You already know.
Oh yeah, I was not.
He
helped me in 2K, so I always have a soft spot for players that help me out in 2K.
But you remember when he said when people were asking him when he was on the Kings who's going to be the Rookie of the Year next year, and he said Harry Giles.
Oh yeah. Rip.
Rip Harry Giles. All right, Larry. So you're 1 for 2. All
right. For 2. Yep.
Let's see if you can bring positive here. Who does Dante Exum play for?
Oh, I know this.
Yeah. See, I'm not doing bum ass players. Right? I'm doing players with a name. Well, they're kind of, but
I know he was traded from the Jazz. The Jazz traded him to a team, Cleveland.
Very nice. Yes, Dante Exum was traded to Cleveland for. Yeah. Do you remember who it was?
Oh, that is a good one. I do. Do I? Oh, yeah, I do. It was for Clarkson.
Yep, Jordan Clarkson.
Really great trade for the Jazz. Yeah. I like the trade for both sides, actually.
Yeah, me too. I think it's decent value, but I'm a known Exum hater. But
yeah, you are.
All right, so you're 2 for 3.
Yes,
4th
sir.
Player. Who does Alex Len play for?
Alex Len. That is a good one. Atlanta.
Is that your final answer?
Who? Let's see. Plumlee's on the Nuggets. I was thinking Nuggets.
Nuggets?
Yeah.
And he is playing for the Sacramento Kings as Atlanta dealt him to the Kings for Dwayne Dedmon.
Ah, yes. Mm-hmm. That's why I was thinking WCS played for Atlanta because of that trade, but it was actually Dedmon.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if you can bring it home with the last player.
All right. So what am I, 2 for 4?
You're 2 for 4. So this is for all the marbles. I think you got this. And who does Tony Snell play for?
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee?
I knew he used to play for Milwaukee last year, like around there. Mm-hmm. Oof, this is tough. I'm stuck. Milwaukee or Bulls? He was in the Bulls at one point in time. I'll say Milwaukee. I really don't know.
And drum roll, please. Nah. He plays for Pistons.
Pistons?
Yeah.
Oh, If anyone plays for the Pistons, well, I'm never gonna guess that. So
he was traded to the Pistons alongside Thon Maker
from Bucks.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. That's a good trade for the Detroit.
Yeah,
I like that.
All right, there's a lot of moving pieces between Detroit and Milwaukee, huh? Like Brogdon, Henson, Maker. Did Christian Wood used to play for Milwaukee?
No, wasn't it the Rockets?
No, Christian Wood played for Milwaukee last year.
Oh, damn, that's wild.
Surprised. I'm very surprised. All right. So it's been a couple of days since we did our last pod, and a couple playoff game has gone by. I think we can kind of rewind a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
The third Miami and Indiana game is going on right now, actually. So a lot of these matchups, I think we were right about some of them. We were a little off about some of them. Obviously, most of the first round has not concluded yet, but
but I think we'll be on point with most of them. I don't see a major upset other than Denver and which we'll talk about.
Yeah. So let's start off with that. So
for sure.
We both had Denver in 6.
Yes.
And
sorry, I had Denver in 5.
You had Denver in 5. I had Denver in 6. And right now, Utah leads 2-1. And the one game that Denver won was very tough. It was an OT with that took a lot of scoring effort from Jamal Murray. And the 2 games following that was a blowout to say the least. First game, the Nuggets were down the entire game until the very end, where they pulled ahead 135-125. And the second game, the Jazz won 124-105. And the third game, another 124-point win, but 87 from the Nuggets, which is actually quite interesting. It's quite interesting that the Jazz have scored 125, 124, and 124 in the first 3 games, which is, if anything, that is consistency, right?
Mm-hmm. But the Jazz, I think the surprise here is that Conley's actually playing well.
Right.
He was terrible in the regular season. Not horrible, but really nothing, not even to the level that Jazz expected him to, at all. But he's bounced back, and now with that Conley coming back, I really think the Jazz has the momentum here, and I think that's really important in the playoffs.
For sure. And I mean, it's unexpected because in all these games, Jazz are not fully healthy, right? They're not fully manned.
Neither is Denver.
I think Denver is more fully manned than Utah, because if you look at it, in the first game, from the Jazz first game, I don't know if Brogdon played. I don't think Brogdon played in any of not Brogdon. Bogdan has played in any of these games.
No, he's out for the season, I'm pretty sure.
And that, I think, is not even arguable. That's their third best player and second best offensive player throughout the season. Yeah,
he's their third best player for sure.
And it's interesting for me to see that, because the first game, it really took Mitchell everything he's got, right? 57 points, right? Shooting 19 for 33, which is amazing. 13 for 13 in free throw, which has always been Donovan Mitchell's problem down the stretch. And after that game, I looked at it and I said, the Jazz team is not a well put together team, because if it takes your star player to score 57 for you to even lose in OT, I felt like he needs help. And Ingles and Gobert did not provided some help. Clarkson did some scoring off the bench, but the rest of the role players just don't have enough firepower to keep up with the Nuggets run and gun offense, right?
Yeah, but also remember that Nuggets are missing both Will Barton and Gary Harris.
Right.
And then they really rely on Denver doesn't really have a clear cut kind of second star after Jokic. Maybe you can argue Murray, but they really rely on their kind of combination of Barton, Harris, and Murray to really pop off, and rely on basically one of them to pop off to help out the scoring here.
Right. And no, definitely. And I love Will Barton. I think he is a great player, a very good energy guy. But yeah, Michael Porter Jr. is playing really well though. In game 2, he scored 28 points starting.
That's true, but you don't want him to start like playing against the starters. He's more of like he's still a rookie, right? Coming off injuries. You got to play against the bench to really kind of get the most out of him.
Right, for sure. And well, he surprised me about the way he played because he scored 10 for 17 actually, 6 for 9 on 3, 6 rebounds, 28 points, 1 foul, 0 turnovers. I felt like that was something.
Yeah, no, he's a great player and just another one of those players that the Knicks missed. So
yeah, for sure,
all good,
for sure. And well, in the same game 2, Donovan Mitchell got 30. Ingles, Gobert, almost 20 points, just like game 1. But the difference maker here is Jordan Clarkson came off the bench, had a plus 22 game, and scored 26 points off the bench, as well as a little bit of scoring help from role players like Niang and Moutier. Well, your man, your favorite player of all time.
Who? Moutier.
that who was genuine.
But yeah, I think again, Clarkson trade coming back clutch again. See how Clarkson really revived his career again, and who really revives a career in Cleveland though? So it's fair.
Yeah, for sure. And knowing the Jazz team from years of watching them, I felt like scoring off the bench was always a problem, right? Because you can't really rely on Dante Exum, and you can't. Back in the day, you couldn't rely. I don't know. In the Rubio OKC like playoff against OKC years, we really didn't have anyone coming off the bench other than Faves, right? Favors were doing a little this and that, but it really wasn't great off the bench because after the starters sit out, that entire which is something I've noticed about a lot of Rubio teams I've been watching, the Suns, the Jazz, the Wolves. After the starters, it's really nothing there anymore, and I don't know why.
Yeah, for sure. Still, like I think I think it'll still be close. Like if you're running off Denver, I don't think Denver's done.
Right.
They almost beat Portland last year.
Right.
That's not an easy feat. So yeah, I think that's about it for the series. Maybe we'll see 7 games.
Yeah, I think
first round.
Just the fact that Jokic regressed, I think, is a little scary for the Nuggets, and not having Barton and not having Barton to bring some energy and Harris to provide a little bit of range is going to be a problem for them. But hey, Bol debut, right? Mm-hmm. The game 3, Bol 9 minutes, 11 points. the new Mo Bamba, I like to call him.
Yeah, sure, for sure. All right, let's talk about another series. I want to get into Philly and Boston.
Right.
I'm a process truther, and I don't think Philly might win one game, but again, no team has ever come back from 3-0. This series is basically over. And I don't really think there's anything to talk about other than the Sixers need to blow it up. But okay, finish your thought.
And I think it really shows how terrible the Horford and Harris signing were. Maybe not by themselves, but in together, they're really just a terrible signing. And I was okay with Elton Brand trying something new because I wasn't really a Sixers fan per se, because I was happy to, just like how Houston doing small ball, I thought Sixers were doing kind of a big ball, and I was okay to see that experiment play out because I don't have any horse in this race. But
right, sure,
I think we're witnessing this experiment failing.
I think this can all come I think both Elton Brand and Colangelo both had the wrong ideas about building Philly. This can all be traced back to trading for Butler and trading for Harris. I think both those moves were mistakes. They just rushed it. Shamet, imagine if Shamet was on the team right now.
Shamet,
they might just beat Boston without Harris and Horford with Shamet.
Wait, where is Shamet?
He's in the Clippers.
Right, but has he been playing?
I'm not sure.
I don't think he hasn't been playing. I haven't seen that Waluigi face in a while.
But it doesn't he'll be playing heavy minutes in Philly.
He has been playing. Oh my god.
I mean, Shamet's a beast. He should be playing. You see what I mean, right? Trading for Butler, getting rid of Covington. Bro, they got rid of Covington on Shamet. Both perfect players next to both Simmons and Embiid. It makes no sense why Brand did that. I still don't get it. At the time, yes, Butler, Harris, that team last year almost won. Well, almost could have won them championship had they beaten Toronto.
Yeah.
But you have to look at the long term. Simmons is only like 24. Embiid is 26. Trading away Covington, who is your defense,
right?
Shaman, who is your shooter, makes no sense to me. And now people are like saying that they should trade away Thibault to get rid of these contracts. Like,
oh my god,
this is again repeating the Sixers' mistake of last year
exactly.
of giving away Shaman and Covington, whose contract is amazing. If you look at that contract, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's, very tradable, and because the very tradable contract, a very valued contract, and because of Robert Covington as a player that you can pretty much throw into any system and he'll bring added benefit, which is
and every system has a need for him. Almost every system needs a Covington.
Right. I didn't hate the Covington trade though because
I hated that trade. That's a horrible trade.
Right, but Jimmy is a very short term.
Right?
Yeah, Jimmy Butler did bring a lot of wins to Philly that year. And they wouldn't even be in the playoff position without Jimmy Butler in that. Well, not the playoff position, but in that position as a contender without Jimmy Butler, in my opinion.
But the Philly needed that wake up. Like they're just delaying the process. Like now, I'm looking at Philly. Philly has to choose between Embiid and Simmons now, because this situation is they're not able to dig themselves out of this hole without getting rid of one of them.
Right.
Unless you want to give up everything, like your picks, Thibault, Milton, Shake Milton. So they have to choose one, and obviously, I think they should choose Simmons. I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I
think Embiid's not going to win you a championship.
Yeah,
Simmons might.
Feel like just being that big of a player and you don't dominate the paint the way that like someone like Shaq did. I don't see that. I don't see that as a winning. I don't see that as a winning centerpiece. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because being someone that's a bit slower on defense and a bit slower on offense and just slow in general, I felt like in a fast-paced playoff environment, especially in the modern NBA where it's such run and gun offense everywhere, even historically, big center like this, unless you're Shaq, don't really win that much. Even back in the Hakeem days, that's a very agile center, right? So I don't know.
But still, Embiid, like, he's lazy, which is really sad to see.
Right.
Like, he's still a great player, but he takes plays off.
Right.
You never want to see that out of your best player on the court right now.
And I felt like his defensive effort has been lacking since he established himself as a defensive player.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
He hasn't, like, I said that's, like, in the last pod, he hasn't had that hunger.
Yeah.
That he had rookie season.
He's
always like, yo, I fought lions from Africa or something.
Yeah.
But I don't see that from him.
Recently,
last year.
Lions my ass, man. Somebody fact check that shit. Like the closest lion was a zoo in like Kenya.
I really think the Sixers need to trade Embiid and they need to hold on to Thibault and not repeat the mistake of giving away Shamet and Covington for a short-term, like long shot, essentially. Because if you have to remember, right, that trade and that team was done before KD got injured in the playoffs.
Right.
But even if they made it to the finals, if KD wasn't injured, I still think like Warriors still win.
And and we don't even think like I don't even know if they can beat Giannis and the Bucks that year because I think
they can beat Giannis that year.
Maybe, but I felt like the reason
Simmons and Embiid can both defend Giannis.
I felt like the reason that Toronto won that series so easily is because of Nick Nurse's coaching. And
I also like Brett Brown's coaching, which is unpopular opinion. I know Philly fans hate him now. I wanted to hire Brett Brown actually this year.
Trade him Thibodeau, see what they say.
I think they would love Thibodeau. Embiid would love Thibodeau.
Right. But yeah, this is not looking good for Sixers at all. I felt
it's really a shame, man. I think the league really did them dirty this time. It's really disgusting.
Even in the beginning of this, even in the beginning of the season, the Sixers were not looking good. Right? They were looking good for a while, and they went on the Heat.
But this can all come back to the league essentially forcing the Sixers to fire Hinkie. Like no leader of the league should do that. No commissioner should be able to kind of almost like force the team's hand to fire somebody.
For sure. And I felt like it's such a business move that really takes away. I mean, is it that big of a business move though? Is it really different?
It is a big business move. It's a clear business move.
But exactly. But to fire him, right? But I felt like it is what Hinkie did that egregious that he had to be kind of forced out of his position. I don't think so. Like I don't know. He's getting blackballed, and
it was pretty disgusting from the league.
Yeah,
I mean, the Sixers fans should be really upset, and I think the league, honestly, I unironically believe the league should compensate Philly for doing that. Unironically,
yeah,
like that's not like same thing with the Chris Paul trade. Even though at the time the league owned the Pelicans, which makes it like a little bit better, still like it's not just has.
They were not acting. They were not acting in the team's best interest, but they're acting in the league's best interest, which is.
And they're also, I mean, the league always wants to act in its best interest, but there's some like there was no need to kind of, you know what I mean? And again, it just shows the league's agenda that they actually don't want, because let's be real here, in the NBA, there's only a few teams that actually really matter, right?
Right, for sure.
Lakers, Celtics, Warriors, right, Knicks as well, unfortunately. And Toronto, I'd say Toronto has made itself matter now.
Yeah.
Outside these 5 teams, no one cares about any of the other teams.
Right.
They're dead. I mean, yeah, of course you do. Like, no, it's great. Like, I'm really happy. Like, other teams have fans. But in terms of like the hype behind those teams, only these like 5 teams have hype behind them and like massive fan bases.
Right.
And the league is trying to change that.
Right.
That's why Chris Paul's in the Clippers, and that's why I think that the league is pushing Zion to the Pelicans so much and Ja Morant to the Grizzlies so much.
Right.
Like the league wants to establish, like, give those teams fans and to kind of grow those teams with no fans. Like, let's be real again.
It's very.
Nets as well. Nets is another one. That's another huge one. Like, the league desperately wants these small teams to succeed, and that's why ratings are going down, because no one cares about these small teams, even if they succeed.
Right, and that's just kind of. It didn't feel fair as a fan of whatnot, like of that's more established teams when the league is trying to push these hype exciting players into these small market teams, which is a good move, I guess, for the league as a whole, but you know, kind of a little frustrating.
It fragments the league, in my opinion. Like, it kind of, I don't know, like ratings will keep sliding as long as like big teams are not good.
Right. So,
but ironically, all the teams I named are all good except the Knicks.
Right. I mean, that goes from your ownership. But I think going back to the Celtics and Sixers series.
Oh yeah, right.
I think that's going to be a sweep, right? And the Celtics.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Philly will win one game, but I doubt it.
But it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Like, I think this Celtics got this in the bag. And like, again, Celtics are not going to throw this because Brad Stevens is like such a good coach.
Exactly. And you know, shout out to Jaylen Brown. Still one of my favorite players.
I don't know about that. Shout out to Tatum. He's carrying the series.
Tatum, I mean, not carrying, right? Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart are playing very well. Ironically, that they're playing better without Gordon Hayward, so that's something interesting to think about.
Yeah, that's true. That's interesting. Very interesting.
I'm waiting to see they break out Taco Fall.
If they break out Taco Fall, you know it's over.
Right. I think that's going to happen in the next game against Philly, and that would be the nail in the coffin.
That's disrespect.
That would be the nail in the coffin to make Philly blow it up.
Oh, but we'll see. We'll see. I think Philly's already like blowing it up. I wouldn't be surprised if either Brand gets fired or if Brand is kind of already planning out moves to change the team. Right.
Okay. So the next
one last thought though, with Philly is that if they trade Simmons, I think it would be one of the gravest mistakes they make. Because Simmons is all they have. I don't think Embiid is that valuable anymore.
I think so as well. I definitely agree.
Simmons is the future for them, and if they get rid of the future, well, they have no future.
Right. I agree. I don't think you should trade it. So, okay. Moving on to the next matchup, Miami against Indiana. So this is something I really want to talk about, and I want to see if you agree with me.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at their season stats for 2019-2020, minutes played. Kendrick Nunn plays 29 minutes a game, right?
Regular season, though, right?
Regular season, right. And Kendrick Nunn is someone I was kind of watching a little bit. He reminds me a lot of someone like Eric Bledsoe. Is that you need the ball. You need the ball. He's like a good 6-man type of character. And he was starting, and then he is now kind of a lock-in for Rookie of the Year first team. All rookie first team. I think he's a shoe-in.
None, yes.
Rightfully so, right? But if you look at the shooting splits this is what confused me, is that I always watch Miami, and I've always paid attention to Miami, and you know, it's a meticulously coached team with a well-run organization, and for the life of me, it doesn't seem like Kendrick Nunn is the type of player that they will start over Tyler Harrell and Duncan Robinson. And it just confused me, right? So I digged a little bit. He shoots 44% from the field and 35% from the three. That's league average at both. And he's playing 30 minutes a game, shooting 15 points. He can't, not really a good, playmaker, not really a good rebounder, not a good defender by any means. And, turnover a little bit higher, foul a little bit higher than you want, but nothing crazy. Just a very standard, Eric Bledsoe type player. And that made me confused about how is this the type of player that Miami wants? Because Miami has Jimmy Butler, Miami has Dragic, and all this Bam Adebayo that runs their offense with. Why is this undrafted rookie playing heavy minutes with heavy usage rate, but his efficiency is nothing to write home about. So and if you look at the last two games against Pacers, he has not played.
Yes, I recognize that. I was curious why he didn't play, actually. But people say that it's because his shooting hasn't been as good as it was regular season. And he's a chucker.
Exactly. So what I think is happening is that Pat Riley is playing fucking 4D chess again. Is that he has spent the entire season building up a value of a player that he did not want to keep in the long run.
I don't think Riley will be in charge of minutes played.
Right, but I think Spoelstra agrees too. But in the regular season,
Spoelstra, I think Riley gives Spoelstra a lot of freedom to make his own.
We don't know, but I'm saying, why is this 25-year-old undrafted rookie who's not that efficient? Well, he can ball ball for sure, but why is he playing heavy minutes in the starting lineup? It doesn't fit. The fit is not good. Harrell fits better. Duncan fits better, and that's what they're running. Even Dragic fits better. That's what they're running in the playoffs. So I think they have built up an undrafted rookie from the ground up. Now he has value with that rookie contract for another year. He has value. So I think they're trying to bait a team that needs scoring off the bench to trade for him.
Who wants none? People don't need guards,
right? But I think they can bait a team like Phoenix to get it with a pick,
with a first. No way,
late first.
I doubt it. I mean, maybe a late first, but I think Miami will have to give something.
Right. I think. Well, this is an undrafted rookie, right? So it's free real estate. Yeah,
that's true. If you can get anything back, yeah, it's a positive.
No, if you think about it, your core is Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Harrell, Goran Dragic, and whatever the fuck your wing is. Why are you playing Kendrick Nunn? Why is that a player you want to put there? There's no reason. You don't want another ball holder in such a well-run offensive team with very clear roles for everybody, and Kendrick Nunn's kind of a do-it-all kind of player, which doesn't fit, right?
Yeah, but also you can think about in the scenario I was thinking of in the last pod where the Heat get Giannis, and maybe the Heat want a third star. Right. You can just attach Nunn easily, and a GM can think well, Nunn has some value. I'll take him.
Right.
And, I'll think him as of an asset, not necessarily
That's exactly what I'm saying. I think they play Nunn so much as an undrafted rookie who essentially undrafted rookie have no value, right? Who they generate a value out of nowhere for a piece that they don't intend to keep for a long time.
Yeah. I would agree. And if they keep him, I don't think they'll be too upset. They'll be nice, we got a decent player.
Exactly. But what happened is that they just got value. If you were playing 2K, right? Undrafted rookies are half a star, right?
Yeah.
They just got a 2-star or 1.5 star, 2-star play out of Nunn, at least. Two.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And
I agree.
I think that's genius. This is not an ideal match for them in that 2-guard position, but they played him and it paid off, and he was not a liability, but he's not the piece you want. But now they got more value to trade for a cap space or a third star. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree. They can, it's an asset, not just an add-on, which is really appealing for some teams.
Exactly. And, who would you rather have, Kendrick Nunn or a late first? You don't know, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yet they turned undrafted rookie who's 25 years old to the same value as a late first, which is, I think, incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but back to the series. You told me earlier that Sabonis might come back.
Yeah, but again, like it's really like we don't know.
Even if he comes back, he's not going to come back, because he's been out.
Yeah, because he has a quarantine right now. Right. I think he's like quarantining like right now or like soon. We'll see. I don't know. They might just get swept.
Right. I think they're getting swept for sure. Maybe one game, but I've said that it does look like the injuries got too much, and I am not. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look great, and he hasn't had Sabonis has not been able to engage in any basketball activity for the past 6 weeks, and there's no expectation that he will rejoin the active roster if Pacers are still alive following his quarantine period. So, it's not looking good for the Pacers, but I think they'll take the L this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think was it last year that Oladipo took LeBron? No, not last year. The year before.
Oladipo that was the year before.
Took LeBron to Game 7 or something shit, and that was insane, man. That was crazy.
I think that's just the more showing how bad the Cavs were. But again, like Oladipo definitely carried them that series.
For sure. That series was amazing. I wanted them to win for sure. But yeah, and the last one we wanted to talk about, what was it again? It was
Clippers Dallas.
Oh yeah. Let me just start off by apologizing to the city of Dallas for being
Dude,
so
fuck
wrong.
Dallas. Killing all our players.
Yeah. But I did not think that they had the veteran experience under the belt, and I felt like they were so top heavy that they were not going to be able to make a dent to the Clippers. And I respect Kawhi Leonard, and you are a Kawhi truther, right?
Oh yeah, no, Kawhi's probably the best player in the league.
Right. And I thought it was going to be a very easy series for the Clippers. And
see, like, yeah, I get it. Like, Kawhi's a beast. He literally carried Toronto last year, but you have to account for. I think people didn't underestimate Luka and continue to underestimate Luka. Like, he's been there. He's been in the playoffs.
That's the scary part. Is that I continue to underestimate Luka, but I think he's an amazing player.
But again, like, I remember before Luka got drafted, I was telling you, like, he's going to win the MVP in like 6-7 years, and might be sooner than that.
Yeah, and I did not believe you, because who the fuck will believe you?
Fuck you.
But I was so like, I think he is already a top 15 player, top 10.
No, I think he's a top 5 player.
Top
like,
5.
No doubt. That's what I was saying. I think he'll be a top 5 player in like 5 years.
Okay, that's what I'm saying right now he's already a top 10, top 15.
Oh, right now, I think he's like top 10 or top 5. I'm like that high on him.
I think top 15.
Like, who was your top 5? LeBron, Kawhi, Giannis. Then what?
Harden.
Okay, fair.
And wait, am I missing somebody? AD maybe.
Yeah, that's fair, but I don't know. I'd rather have Luka leading a team than AD.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just me though.
For sure, but I felt like a lot of that is the future, right? Wait, I'm missing somebody, aren't I?
Let me toss out some candidates here.
I'm missing somebody.
Maybe Dame. I would say like, okay,
not Dame.
There you go. Top 5. I throw Dame in there just because of this year. Like top 5 this year. You also missing like Curry, KD. Those guys are.
Yeah, so top
10. I agree. Right now, top 10.
Easily top 10. Okay, so and I am still that's still me underestimating him.
But I think top 10 is like his like right now. He's not higher than top 10,
right?
Because he doesn't count for like Curry, KD, and whatnot.
He's not even like 9, 10. He's like 6, 7.
Yeah,
which is
for real
crazy.
He'll move down when Curry comes back and when KD comes back, and see like how they play, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm okay, and I don't like Paul George.
I like him. He's decent. He's
decent, but I just like he's a good two-way player. He's got good defense. He's got good shooting, and sometimes he can create his own shot. But at some point, maybe I was lost in the sauce. Like in the journey that is me as an NBA fan. But at some point, we decided to pay, I think, what I consider role players max contracts, and I just don't understand it.
I mean, yes, because we've also moved away from kind of like chuckers that we saw in 2000s. Not necessarily that they were actually chuckers, but just like that play style.
Right.
And PG's play style, he's like good enough to be considered a star, but his kind of best role is like a really good role player and then having another star carry the offensive.
He should not get another max contract for the rest of his life. Like he has never.
I mean, I don't think he will because he's old.
Right,
isn't he in his 30s? He's 31, right?
I think he's the luckiest player there's ever been. Like I haven't seen him like deserving of his max contract in any team.
I disagree. I would give KP a max. I had another max player already.
Wait,
that's like the only scenario.
No, KP, PG.
Oh, sorry, PG. Yeah, I would give him a max only if I had another max player.
I don't think he was deserving of his max in OKC, and I didn't think he was deserving of his max in Clippers.
But you think about it, right? Let's say you have Luka and PG. I think that's as good as Luka and KP.
No. I think KP is better than PG. I think, in my opinion. I don't
right now.
I don't understand why he's good. Can someone tell me what's so special about Paul George? Even his name is so annoying, just so boring. It sounds like some dude selling furniture. Paul George, like
PG-13.
Yeah, I don't understand why he's like. Somebody tell me what's so special about him. Like what? Huh? I don't get it. He's like Jason Tatum, but worse.
Yeah, he can't create as much as Tatum, but exactly. I would say,
and that's like a third-year player, and he's been getting max contracts for like half a decade.
Tatum, but like as you know, like I'm super high on Tatum, so
right. But why has Paul George been getting max contract for half a decade? Somebody please explain that to me. Where is the value he's generating as a max player? I would give him 20. But
that's underselling. You realize that Canner was paid $20 million a year.
Okay, but yeah, that's a famously bad contract. But it's like I just felt like it inflated so much somewhere along the line, and money don't really reflect value anymore. How is that $35 million a year player? Somebody please if you put him in like Dame Lillard's situation, can he make Blazers that good? No,
but I would argue that Dame and PG is a better pair than Dame and CJ.
Oh yeah, no, but CJ is not that good in my opinion.
And is CJ not getting paid the max?
I don't think CJ's getting
somewhere close to it. Maybe he's like due for another contract.
What is CJ getting paid? You're on this. That's another contract. I don't think he's getting a max though.
Like somewhere close to it, right?
Well, that's a very easy way to find out. Is that CJ McCollum contract? 3-year, $100 million. Oh, you're right. That's a fucking max.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, I mean, if PG's getting paid the max, CJ's getting paid the max. PG
that's a small market team move, though. I guess.
Is OKC not a small market team though?
True.
Is the Pacers not a small market team?
True. You're right.
I think it makes sense. Like, I don't hate the contract. I like it. I would do it.
I felt like, I guess. I guess in my opinion, in my mind, that max contracts are reserved for top 20 players, I guess.
Well, that's just how the NBA works.
Right. I mean,
like LeBron should be big. Well, his entire career, LeBron should be getting paid several millions more. But that's just how the NBA contract is scheduled.
I guess there's 30 teams, and usually one team should have have a max contract player. So.
Yeah, I agree. But that's another topic for another time. Anyway, I think that's it for the playoffs, right?
Right, that's it for the playoffs, and so now the draft lottery.
Well, suffering is all I know.
Yeah.
Wait, do you want to take a quick break or?
We can go a little bit longer until we talk about. We can do a little draft rundown, and then we can go to the off-season moves, and then we can talk.
All right, sounds good. Let's do a draft. I mean, let's we're just gonna be quite team centric. But I'm gonna be talking about the Knicks draft,
but
he's probably gonna be.
I just want to ask something though. Are you okay? Do you need a hug?
But you know what, Terry? I'm just if any Knicks fans are listening, this is to be expected. There's nothing surprising about this.
Right.
Like y'all didn't want to tank Luka. Y'all didn't want to tank for that the year before during the Frank when we picked Frank like that year either. And this is the repeat, and we've seen this several times. And there's nothing surprising. I like, people clown on us, like, it's whatever. But in reality, like, this is really, truly to be expected. Because we didn't lose enough games. And people will say, like, right. Chicago lost less games than us, and they got the 4th pick. Yes, but that's how the league works now. If we had a lot worse record in the league, we were guaranteed top 5 instead of top 3, right? Previous years. And I still think top 5 is valuable. Like, I want a top 5 pick, even if we have the worst record in the league.
Right. And I think, I'm happy with the 10, I was happy.
Yeah. I mean, you guys had a great season. Like, for us, at least, like, it's very odd. Like, I'm sad, of course, because, I want LaMelo. I was kind of really following LaMelo all year. But it's not surprising to have a bad pick since we didn't lose enough games.
Right. And most of these drafts are predicting your worst nightmare, which is the Knicks picking Obi Toppin.
I'm gonna have to step away from the NBA for a while. Start following soccer or some shit.
But you were asking me earlier, why do I not like Obi Toppin? Because he's.
No, I wasn't, because I know exactly why.
But like, he's my favorite archetype, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true.
The Montrezl Harrell, the Kenneth Faried, But I think it's because the reason that people like I like them is because they're underdogs. They have that drive. If you're a top 10 pick, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't. And also, the league is changing. I'm not stuck in the past. Even though, if I like their aggressive, like Amari Stoudemire-esque play style, I'm not going to risk a top 10 pick on him. In my opinion, I would. I think he has value. I don't think he's like a complete bum.
I think he has no value.
Really?
Like zero? I wouldn't take him in the lottery, at least. Well,
you heard it first here in Terry and Larry's basketball podcast that Obi Toppin has zero value.
Because again, like, people, some Knicks fans kind of like talk themselves into Toppin because they think he has a good 3. I think his shot is not reliable. He didn't shoot enough volume to show me he has a good shot. And his free throw percentage is like not that good. It's like 70, I think, a little bit less.
He had 82% he had 82 shots, and he shot 39% from the 3. That's not nothing. 82 is
that's very good, but his volume is very poor. And I don't think that he's, again, like, there's just too many things going against him. He has no defense.
Right. And that's the no.
22 years old.
Yeah.
Essentially, think about it. He's 22 right now. Next year, when the season actually starts, God knows when, he's gonna be 23.
Yeah.
We're literally drafting a 23-year-old that cannot defend.
He's jacked as
a big. We don't even know if he can shoot.
Right. He's jacked.
He might be able to. His shot looks okay. Like, he has a decent form. Like, it's fine. I don't think he's not going to be like a good shooter. Maybe I see Pokusevski being.
Right. Maybe you draft him so he can take Mitch to the gym.
But we should really avoid drafting him big at all costs.
Yeah, for sure. I agree, and especially today in such a effy situation for the power forward position, where we sometimes even wonder, does this position even exist anymore? And what does this position really mean? Is it just a slightly taller small forward, or is it like, what I mean? I feel like the forward position has really deteriorated in importance in the last couple of years, which is
maybe basketball should we just play 4-on-4 instead of 5-on-5.
That's fine, man. Growing up, I played power forward, and I love that position, and I thought you can there's so many versatility you can go the Tim Duncan or the Dirk, because
you're like a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but there were so many good players like growing up in our age. Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki, Tim Duncan.
All these players will be playing center now.
Yeah, exactly.
Duncan would definitely be a center, right? Like, for sure.
All about Dirk.
Dirk, I would say he's a center.
Yeah. But there's an argument. It depends on who you have, I think. It depends on who you have.
Yeah. Like, it depends on your roster construction. Absolutely.
I think Tim Duncan was only listed as a power forward because in the beginning of his career, they had David Robinson. Also, the reason that he said this, he's like, I didn't want to go against Shaq.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Like, but again, in today's league, Shaq doesn't even exist, right? Like a Shaq archetype.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's just Embiid who's soft, in my opinion.
Yeah, and slow.
Yeah.
Shaq, he used to be super fast.
Tim Duncan said this in an interview. Maybe not him, but somebody close to him, maybe. But he was like, I don't want to go against Shaq. I don't want to go against Alonzo Mourning. What the fuck? Like, it hurts. I want to play offense too. They should go hire some, play some bums like Tiago Splitter.
Yeah. One more thing though about the draft for the Knicks, at least.
Right.
I don't see a guard for us at the 8.
Right.
Maybe I think Hayes. I like Hayes. I liked him early. I've kind of gotten lower on him since I don't really see like a good path for him, if that makes sense.
Hey,
I don't see him developing. I don't see him developing that well. And like again, like my philosophy, like my kind of like thought here, my way of thinking for the 8th is that if we take a guard, if we take a point guard especially, that point guard needs to be our future starting point guard for the next like 5 years. Right. Mm-hmm. That's why I was so against the Frank pick, because I never saw Frank as a starting point guard for us.
Right.
Because he's trash. But other than that, like, I don't see Cole being a starting point guard for us in 2025 or 2026. I don't see Hayes being that guy, nor do I see Haliburton being that guy. Oh, I would be fine with Haliburton, right?
Yeah.
The only guy I do see that way is LaMelo, which is why I was so high on him.
And the thing about drafting a point guard, right, is there are 3 ways you can go. First, this guy's your star. Right, this guy's going to be a drafting point guard high. This guy's going to be your start. This guy's going to be your, your offense, or the guy that runs your offense and create your own shot. That'll be a decent pick, right? And there's another way where you have a lot of really good wing players, and you have a very star big, and you draft a great playmaker. That's what the hype was behind Lonzo Ball, right? You draft a guy.
And I see that way with LaMelo as well.
Right, exactly. And then the third one is you draft this point guard that is not a great playmaker, but not a great shot creator, but he's high energy and he's a chucker, and you draft him as the 6th pick with a, say, late lottery. And that's also okay, in my opinion. Right?
Yeah.
But at the 8th position, I just don't know. First of all, this is not a very deep draft at all.
This is like a very, how do I say, like a lot of role players, or like a lot of like players that are like decent.
Yeah, exactly. Very decent role players, but it's not like there's a lot of people with star potential. I think it's not a controversial thing to say. It's like a thrift store, It's like there's no good pieces, but you see a denim jacket, you see a bandana, you're like, oh, this shit will work, right? Like
for sure.
It's a lot of role players, and I don't know how it would feel if I have a high pick, but it's good, right? Because the Warriors have 2nd pick this year.
But again, like I'd be fine, I think, with a high pick, because we can grab LaMelo, but you can also trade down as well. And again, like going back to kind of like the role player thought, I think this is a perfect place for us to draft a role player, because we need a 3-and-D wing desperately.
Right.
So I think it's a no-brainer, frankly, take that kind of person, like we talked about earlier, like Vassell, or go like super high risk taker and draft a Pokusevski, because I think as the Knicks and as like a trash team, kind of in the abyss, we should be risk takers, and we have not been risk takers in the past,
right?
Which has been terrible to see.
If you pick someone like Tyrese Haliburton, I think that is not a risk you're making. That is a safe bet, right? And that's going to be putting you in the purgatory stage.
Yeah.
But I would also like to say, fuck off Killian Hayes, because I would like him.
I mean, you guys can please take Killian Hayes, because I actually really don't want to guard, because if you look at our roster, we still have DSJ. We have Frank. Like,
what do you do with DSJ? I actually don't know.
Oh, I would just drop him. Just get rid of him. We don't even need to trade him. Just cut this guy.
Remember when I said he'll be okay? I'm so sorry.
What's up?
Remember when I told you I think he'll be okay?
No.
Yeah.
I don't.
No,
but I would, dude. Don't even we don't even think about it. Just cut him.
Yeah, I remember. I remember this day really clearly. We were taking Uber back to our place in our places in the plateau. And then we were talking about
like 2 years ago?
Yeah,
like a year and a half ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago, when after DSJ was first traded, and he had half a season there, and it was good. Like, he was playing well.
I disagree heavily.
Like, okay, he was not okay. He was like 14 points a game or something with low.
He had maybe 4 good games.
Right, and I was like, no, I think he'll be okay. Like, he'll be a poor man's Steve Francis. Like, maybe he has some value. And then you're like, no, this is I'm sad. I'm depressed. This is stupid. And I was like, you're still a pessimist, man. Like, he's not gonna be that much of a bum. He was like, LeBron liked him too, right? And then
hey, man, I don't want to be a pessimist. I want to be optimist. Yeah. Unfortunately, the moves we make have no optimism to go with it.
True. Yeah. I mean, I see it now. You were right back then. It's just it's a head scratcher. I thought I don't know how he got this bad.
But it's fine, man. Like, you know what? It's what's done is done. We just have to keep looking to the future, keep moving on to the future. I hate all this, like, looking back, like, oh, let's sign LaMelo for one season. It's like, why? What does he do for us? Nothing other than nostalgia for the fans. Like, we can use that roster spot for maybe taking on a bad contract, maybe taking a shot at like a G Leaguer. But no, we'll give LaMelo a shot because we can develop him. And he'll be a great player for us 5 years down the line. Like, this is the kind of mentality that the Knicks have had, and we just haven't changed ever.
Right. Yeah, I mean, well, you guys have a lot of casual fans.
I mean, they're casual because we're bad, frankly.
Right.
If we're good, I think those casual fans will be really into the team.
The problem with these big market teams is that there's so many casual fans. You know,
I really don't think we have a lot of casual fans, honestly.
Because I felt like if you're a Memphis fan, you are a Memphis fan. Like, you know,
I disagree. I feel like in cities like Memphis, NOLA, Charlotte, I can see just like a lot of like everyday people. They're like, let's go to a Hornets game or let's go to a Grizzlies game.
Oh, because
honestly, in New York, no one's like. I mean, people are like, let's go to Knicks game, but there's like other shit to do. Like, let's be real. There's too much shit to do.
That's fair,
frankly. And I don't know. I haven't been to Memphis. I'd love to visit, but I think the Grizzlies is like more of like a bigger event, I'd say. And like,
I heard the food is really good.
Yeah, I heard like the music is really good. Especially like in the South, like NOLA, I heard the food is really good as well.
And I heard it's not as racist as you think.
I mean, I don't even mind. I think racism is to be expected in the U.S., frankly. It just comes with the territory. You want good pay? Well, give some racism.
Yeah. And, have a little chance of getting shot. It is what it is.
Hey, it's all good. I'm happy with the pay, and I'll take that risk.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll come to your funeral from that from that hate crime. That New York is chill, man. But yeah, I mean, for the Suns, I was looking at Killian Hayes for sure, and I was looking at.
I like Killian Hayes for you guys.
I don't want to wing. We have a lot of wing players. I think that are young and have a lot to offer, and they'll continue to get better. I think our oldest wing player is Kelly Oubre, and I think Kelly Oubre is going to get maybe not get better, but Kelly Oubre is a player I really like for us.
And I think he might get moved. I said this before, but I think he might get moved.
And sad to me and my fellow female fans. I'm not female, but a sadness to the city of Phoenix and all the hoes there.
All the hoes.
Yeah, exactly. But I think Oubre is probably our most tradable piece, and I don't want to trade him. Though. Sure. I really like him. I think he brings a lot of intangibles. It's a hustle.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the attitude. It's that his attitude is amazing, and he is just so energetic, and he is so charismatic, and he is just a great guy to be around. I think just from what I've seen.
Well, slow down there, Terry.
I know it sounds like I'm trying to suck his cock, but like maybe a little bit. But like I do like him, right? I do like him. I do like him.
Okay. Hear me out here, Terry, bro.
Right.
Hear about this trade.
Right.
Knox, ESJ.
You lost.
No. Wait. And Bullock.
No.
Or Kelly. And I'll give you a pick.
And I'll give you my foot up your ass. What pick? You better be a top 3 pick.
I was gonna say the Clippers pick this year.
Yeah, go fuck all the way off, bro. Nah,
the Clippers pick is this year's good, man.
Why would I want any of those
in the draft, bro?
Hell,
Phil Embiid.
Get the fuck out. You want me to trade the most beautiful man in this league for 3 bums? Hell nah. That's 3 roster spots I would spend on other people.
I mean, you can just cut Knox and DSJ. I don't blame you.
Cut Knox and just for Bullock.
Yeah, basically Bullock in the first.
I like Bullock. I mean, I'll take Knox.
Me too, man. I hope we keep him.
Yeah, but and that's no. Just no. That's a 20-point player, and I think Kelly is very not as inefficient as you would think.
Yeah, he has more value than that. Yeah. I tried.
Yeah, you shot your shot. I'll give you the same trade. I'll give you Elio Kobo.
Yeah, I don't know about that, bro.
I'll give you.
I give him a Reggie for that guy.
I'll give you the same trade. I'll give you Elio Kobo and Ty Jerome.
I'm good, bro. Thank you, though.
I'm
keeping Bullock.
Good talk.
I really want to keep Bullock, actually.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm looking at. I don't want to draft a wing, right? Because Kelly Oubre, Cam Johnson, I love. Mikal Bridges, we both love, and I think that's a great wing rotation. And something great is that we can run Cam and Kelly at 4 sometimes, and Mikal can play 2, and sometimes Mikal even plays 4, and I love that.
Yeah. I see Kelly as a 4 actually.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
because
right.
he played 4 at Washington.
Yeah, modern 4.
Yeah, he's really a modern 4.
And
he's a great he's perfect for a modern 4.
Right. And I think that's a solid wing rotation. We don't need any more. And Booker plays 2-3 sometimes, 1-2-3 sometimes, right?
Oh, really? He plays 3?
He does.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes we run Javon Carter, Ricky Rubio, and Devin Booker. Right. So I'm not 3 on defense, but like 3 on dude.
3 on offense.
Dude, Javon Carter.
You're playing 3 guards basically.
Javon Carter. I hated him, but now I want him to stay. He balled the fuck out. He won us the game in the bubble, like just single-handedly with like 27 points, something like that. But I don't want any more. I don't want any more wings. I think we're good on wings because we have a lot of guys that can play wing. We have a lot of forwards that can play wing. But I think I would like a bench scorer. I would like a chucker, or I would like a defensive-minded big man to go with DA.
Ayton.
Yeah. So
you guys still have the center. The center.
Yellow.
No. The guy from Boston.
The guy from Aaron Baines.
Yeah, is he on contract next year or no?
I think Baines is. Let me double check. I think Baines' contract is expiring.
Okay. Damn, I want to sign Baines actually. So if he's expiring, that'd be nice.
Yeah, Baines is a good player. I think. Aaron Baines is expiring.
Okay. You guys should re-sign him though. I would at least.
And so is Dario Saric. I would re-sign Saric, but I don't know what his value is because he's just coming.
I should not re-sign Saric.
Not okay. So. Like, hear me out. He is coming off his rookie contract, right? I would give him 2 years for $13 million.
Yeah,
2 years for 13, and I think he's earned that. I'll even give 3 with the team option at the end. You know, I think
for sure.
I think that's a way for him to earn his keep. And I think
well, like, what's the contract though? He wants to like at least like some decent money, right?
Yeah, so I'll give him 3 for 21 last year's team contract.
3 for 21
or 22.
Well, that's okay. That's decent, but that's kind of like it might be an overpay.
It might be, or it could be an underpay. He's still 26 years old.
I'm thinking like because the cap is going down next season,
right?
It's gonna be an overpay just because of that,
right? Maybe I want to trade Frank Kaminsky, but
I would say like 15 for 3. I think for Sarge is fair. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I will want that, but I feel like his market value might be a little bit higher.
I don't think Sarge has value though.
He shows.
We'll see. Yeah. But I don't think he has. I don't see value in him.
Maybe, but Javon Carter, I'll give him 2 years for 5.
I really like Cole for you guys. I really like Cole or Hayes. Hayes, you can develop and hope he like balls out and becomes your future point guard next to Booker. Yeah. Or Cole, you just have like a solid 6-man player.
Right. I think we're looking. Yeah, we're looking at trade options for Ty Jerome and Frank Kaminsky together. So that's $7 million trade options. And if we trade this pick, I think we would like to trade for a 6-man or a big man or a 6-man, but we'll see.
You have a big man. Just re-sign Baines and then take Cole, and that's your 6-man.
I don't really love the Baines. I think I want someone that's better on rim protecting.
Oh, so you don't like Baines?
I do like Baines, but I don't know if
not enough.
Not enough. Yeah. So yeah, we can take a break later and we can look at the free agent sheets and then we can talk about who we're looking for. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this pick because the 2 players I'm looking at is Cole Anthony and Killian Hayes. And personally, I'm more gravitating towards Killian Hayes because he is very young. He's 19 years old.
That's true.
He's 6'5", 6'5" with a 6'8" wingspan.
He's a big man. Yep.
Yeah, good shooter. I
think his shooting kind of sus. I don't trust Cole's or Hayes' shooting right now.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. 30% 3-pointer, but he's a good free throw shooter. So I think that means he can get better.
That's true.
And he's playing Europe, right?
Yeah, he's playing Europe. He's playing a French league. Right.
So you're playing Europe. Your 3-point shooting is not going to because they don't play around the 3.
Yeah. And Hayes, the coach gave Hayes a lot of room to do whatever he wants. It was really the focus of the offense.
Right. Yeah, but I think I would like him. I truly believe I like him. I feel like he's young, and I think
I like him as well. I see him kind of like Exum, where he's he has a lot of intangibles. He's kind of he can do almost like a little bit of everything, but he has to kind of like get good at one thing. And you
He's
don't know
fast.
if he can
He's
do that.
very fast.
He's kind of relying on his left.
Yeah, he's very and he's also a decent passer. So I'm not mad at it. And I also another player I was looking at is I know I said I don't want a wing, but I was looking at Naismith.
Yes, I like Naismith as well for the Knicks.
I think he's the best shooter in this draft by far, right?
But the problem with Naismith is that he's a sophomore, and he's been popping off the threes. I think like 45% from three, which is crazy. 52. Okay, all right, never mind. 52. But the problem was that his first year, he shot like not very good, and people are kind of questioning like, is this sustainable? Is this like year just an anomaly? And I don't think it is. I the worst case scenario, he's still going to be a good shooter.
Right.
But just like how good?
That's 115 shots in a year. I'm not mad at that. I'm not gonna penalize the guy for being a late bloomer, right?
Yeah. No, for sure. Like, and Naismith, like if Vassal's taken, I would definitely take Naismith because we need shooting that desperately.
Right. And lastly, Cole Anthony. I think that's Chucker, right?
He's a Chucker.
Chucker, right? Chucker. But unironically, that's what we need.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, if I was the Suns, I'd be very happy with Cole.
He's short though.
He has a lot of downsides. Short wingspan, short height. He really just relies on like craftiness and skill.
Low effective, like low efficiency.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, to be honest. I would take him. How the fuck does Celtics have a top 15 pick?
Celtics are just blessed by gods.
Fuck yeah, dude. Danny Ainge is actually. You think Pat Riley's in the mafia? Like, look at Danny Ainge.
It was the Memphis pick.
Yeah. Oh, the Memphis pick.
It's a Memphis pick, yeah. Memphis actually got lucky because that could have been like a top 5 pick.
They're predicting Aaron Naismith to go to the Spurs, and I think that's going to be really scary.
For the Spurs or for the league?
I think for the league. I think that's the perfect. I felt like he is a high discipline player, and he is a someone with a really good shot and with a very specific skill set, right? And long wingspan, good shooter. That's something that I think Pop like jacks off to. But yeah, I think that would be a good situation for him to be in. But for the Suns, for my pick, Cole Anthony or Killian Hayes, if both are taken, I want to go for Naismith because of the shooting.
Yeah, for sure. Like I would take Naismith.
We still need a shot creator, though. I think the Suns are too disciplined of a team, and if we really want to make a run,
maybe you guys can trade up for LaMelo.
I don't think so.
Cam, McCall, and your pick.
Okay, so wait. Let's look actually. So, number 1 pick.
Rubio instead of.
Yeah, they trade Rubio. I don't give a fuck about the Suns anymore. But
I mean, I'm just like I'm thinking in terms of what's best for the Suns.
You think they're gonna trade Rubio back to the Wolves?
I don't think the Wolves are trading the first, but I'm thinking like maybe the Hornets.
Third. I think the third is gonna be the LaMelo pick, but or the fourth, But
Wow, I can't believe the Bulls got LaMelo, man. Like they have a really good shot at it.
Yeah,
lucky bastards.
I know, but number 1 pick, I think is definitely going to Anthony Edwards, right? Like that's.
Yeah, I agree
because that fits the Wolves situation, right? Yeah. I think the top couple picks all have their downsides. I don't think one is more valuable than the other, and we can all agree that the Golden State pick is going straight into James Wiseman.
I think so as well. I can see them taking LaMelo, but I think they take Wiseman.
Exactly. Yeah, I think what Golden State now has. That's scary, man. I don't want to think about that. That's Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, and Wiseman.
Yeah, man. Golden State knows how to tank. Look at this. Golden State, they tank for 1 year.
1 year.
And they're set. But for the Knicks, we've been trying to tank. We haven't really tanked, right? Truly tanked.
Yeah.
We've only truly tanked for 1 year, and it was RJ. Like,
my
what
God.
a shame. What a shame.
But yeah, Wiseman, is Wiseman a center? Yeah, he is. 7'1".
He's a true center. Yeah. True center.
7'6" wingspan. That's really good. But yeah, James Wiseman going to Golden State, I think that's definitely a no-brainer, right?
Yep.
And because the salary cap they have, there's so many huge contracts, they really need this rookie on it. I don't see them trading this pick at all. So the only things we're looking at is probably Hornets and Bulls.
I think you guys can get a Hornets pick if you try.
I think Rubio and Booker will be a good mentor to LaMelo, but we will have to. I don't know how we're gonna package. I don't think we have anything that the
you guys might have to give up Rubio. Like I think like Cam is probably gone.
I don't think the
Kelly. I think they want Kelly.
Actually, Bulls with Rubio is not bad, huh? Now I think about it, Rubio and Zach.
I don't like Bulls, and I don't like White and LaMelo. I don't really like that.
I don't think we'll trade Rubio for sure because we are trying to make a run for the playoff, and we're not exactly trying to. We have a solid squad, so sure. I think we want someone that we can throw into our system, and if he pops off, great. If he doesn't pop up, we still have our team. We don't want to trade any of our main pieces, which is Ricky, Devin, Mikal, Kelly, DeAndre, and Kelly and Cam. So that's our 6 players that's untouchable, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. Yeah, and you know what? Even if you try to go for Melo, I don't even know if it's worth it, man, because you have to give up so much.
Right, and the rest is free for the taking, but I think the rest don't have that much value.
Yeah, they're not gonna get you that pick.
Yeah, Ty Jerome disappointed me.
Who?
Ty Jerome, our backup point guard that we drafted with our first round pick. I thought he was gonna be a great player. I thought he was gonna be a good player. He has a good playmaking instincts. He is a good shooter in college, and I thought he was going to be a great player that Rubio can mentor because they have really similar play styles. But except Ty Jerome has a good shooting touch. Maybe we'll give him another run next year. I really hope we do give him another run. But the consensus from the Phoenix fans are trade him. He does look very shy. He looks very scared. He doesn't look comfortable on the court, and he looks very, robotic. But I would like to give him another shot if the rest of the fans are.
Yeah, I mean, like, you guys don't need to rush.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want to
just wait until the next deadline?
Do you want to take a small break, and then we can talk about free agency?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, cool. We'll take a small break. All right. Second part of the pod. We're going to talk about the off-season options for Suns and the Knicks, and also from time to time, talk about the new Supreme drop.
Nah, bro, we done with that.
We done with that.
We were talking about the Rav pants now. The Rav Calvin Klein pants.
Oh, for it, dude. Man, just knowing that Undercover don't make that jacket in size 3 makes me so sad. She brings the rain jacket.
Okay, dude, bro. We just too fat. We just too fat.
We too thick boy. Anyways, all right.
All right. You want? Let's see. You want to do the Knicks first?
Yeah, go for it. You have a lot of opinions about this.
I mean, it's really not just a lot of opinions. It's really just like a core driving idea, which is what we've been lacking, right?
Right.
We lacked a direction. Let's be real here. So, Mike, I advocate for direction. We need to go down one path. Choose a road, right? We can't just kind of meander, be like, oh, we can maybe develop players while trading for stars. Like, that's just not how the league works.
Right.
And, Terry knows this. I'm a huge advocate of tanking. Mm-hmm. Even with the new rules, I think tanking succeeds.
As you should.
And exactly like I point to last year where we drafted RJ. Sure, we got the 3rd pick. We didn't get the number 1 pick. But it's fine because if we had the 2nd worst record, we might not have even gotten the pick. Because with a worst record, you're guaranteed a top 5. And next season, I absolutely want a top 5 pick. I want you already know there's Kate Cunningham, there's Green. So there's already some players on the horizon that people are like, yo, these guys can be a number 1 option. And of course we need that. RJ, I mean, he's a good player, but I don't see him being the number 1 option on a championship team. And at the end of the day, that's what we're aiming for. We're not like one of those teams like Portland or the Nuggets. Well, not really the Nuggets, but Portland, Hornets, where they make the playoffs and that's like a big pat on the back. Like, we did it, guys. We made the playoffs. Like, no, that's not the New York. We're making the finals. If we make the playoffs, we better be making the finals. If we don't make the finals, what's the point of making the playoffs? Right. And I think Terry agrees with me here, and I think really guys who follow the process really think the similar way, where there's really no point of obviously there's a point where you can develop players. Of course, if we get to the playoffs, we can develop RJ We can develop Mitch. Our weaknesses kind of get exposed,
right?
Which is a positive because we can directly address those weaknesses in the offseason, right? But at the end of the day, the goal is not to make playoffs. Which a lot of Knicks fans, they're like, "Oh, I just wish we could make playoffs, man.
Right?
We couldn't make playoffs this year with Randall." Like, ignoring all the problems that we had this year with Randall. Who else was there? Ellington. That's not the goal. I think.
Right.
The goal should be. Terry, what do you say?
The annoying thing is that making a playoffs with that squad in the East is not even an unrealistic option. But it's like
exactly
you don't want to be there. Why would you want to be there?
Yeah. We exactly like at the end of the day, the number one driving goal for the Knicks should be make the finals. We might not win the finals, and that's okay.
Right.
That's the goal, is to make them, or even conference finals. I think is great.
Right.
Anything like second round, first round.
Yeah.
We should be winning those rounds easily.
Right.
In like the ideal kind of scenario, right, where we have a good team. So so what I'm advocating for is like building a championship team, not just a playoff team, a championship team. And we might need to lose some playoff rounds to get there, but as long as we're on the right path, then it's fine. Having Randall, making the playoffs with Randall, that's not the right path. That's just making the playoffs just to make the playoffs.
Right. And
so that's kind of
and especially for you guys as a big market team by birth, nature, it's your
exactly
you don't need to generate excitement. Your tickets are going to sell. There's people talking about you all the time, and there are fans talking about you.
That's a negative, frankly.
I think so too. But it's like you do not need to make playoffs to generate attention to your team to be a free agent destination. You've always been a free agent destination. It's because you're barring your.
Well, we're kind of a free agent destination,
right? But that's not because of your location or your team,
right? And the organization.
You don't need to make yourself competitive like Utah, like Denver, to make it a destination. You don't.
Utah's the other team I was thinking.
So what's
exactly like Utah, maybe Portland to an extent, maybe like the Pelicans.
Right.
What teams are on? Pacers.
Right.
I think Pacers like the exact example I'm thinking of, like where they want to be competitive, and it's great. I'm really happy that Pacers want to be competitive, and maybe somewhere down the line they can get another star along with Oladipo and somehow make the finals. That's very possible.
Right, but at the end of the day, it's in Indiana. Then they have to do that. You guys are in you guys are in New York City. You don't need to put yourself in that situation to attract free agents. All you have to do is be in New York, right? So you want to you definitely should go for the chip rather than try to right. So in that sense, what do you think you should do in the free? What do you think the Knicks should do in free agent?
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about like some ideas I've been heard floating around, some kind of media leaks, not necessarily leaks, but kind of tips that they've kind of leaked out. But I know FVV. A lot of fans want FVV. Right. That's just one of the names. Another fan favorite kind of is CP3. So immediately you can see like they're both point guards, right?
Right.
And we obviously do need point guard. That's very true.
Right.
But neither of these point guards are the answer. Why? Because they don't bring us closer to a championship. Exactly. FVV might bring us to a championship. But when we are making or sniffing playoffs, that FVV contract, let's say we give him 3 years, like disregarding the amount of money, that FVV contract might be like close to over.
Right.
At that time, and we'll have to re-sign him. And again, signing FVV or Fred VanVleet or CP3 or trade for CP3, which is a whole nother issue. It makes us better, right? Which is great, but it's actually terrible because we're not going to get a good pick.
Right.
Again, I truly, I wouldn't even mind winning 5 games out of the entire year.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd be a happy person. Maybe we'll have some close games. Maybe RJ plays well. Like that's fine. Exactly. What we need is talent, and we're not going to get talent other than in the draft.
It's that the Knicks fans kind of want to have a lot of the casual Knicks fans kind of want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to see good basketball, but they also want to be competitive. Well, that's just not realistic in the long run, right?
They want to be competitive and have high picks, which is just does not make sense.
Again,
like I've seen this play out like so many times. Like two seasons ago, I remember KP was healthy, right, in the early season, and he got injured against Milwaukee.
Right.
And then we won a lot of games, and people were like, we should keep winning games. Show KP we're so good, we can make playoffs. Right. And then after the season was over, people were like, "Yo, guys, I wish we lost more games. Why don't we have Doncic? Please, bless us with Doncic." Like, you're not gonna get Doncic if you win a lot of games. Obviously, the draft was different that year, That was like the last year of the nice draft odds. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't matter because if we are the worst team in the league for the next 3 seasons, we're guaranteed 3 top 5 picks in the next 3.
Right.
And I'm very happy.
Maybe
I'd be very happy with that.
Maybe
that sounds good to me.
Maybe the Knicks is playing, like 5D chess, kind of not tanking this year because the top options don't look that great. But I
totally disagree because I wanted LaMelo, and LaMelo fits us really well.
Maybe you can trade up. Maybe.
I don't see it. We don't have a good enough assets.
Yeah.
The only team I see is Hornets.
Yeah.
But we'll have to give up Mitch, which is just non-negotiable. We're not going to trade Mitch.
Maybe Randall and your pick and another young player and Knox.
I mean, if Jordan is really nice to us, then maybe they'll take Randall and give us a third.
Jordan, Jordan's a terrible exec.
No, but who's running their exec now? The old Lakers GM or Lakers president?
Yeah. It's not Rich Cho anymore, right? It's
No, it's the old Lakers guy. He's been there he was there for years and years.
Mitch, whatever.
I don't remember, but he was the guy who gave Mozgov those contracts.
Oh, lol.
Oh, maybe they'll take Randall. Now you think about it, maybe.
Hornets front office. What's his name again? Oh my god, it's stuck in my. It's annoying.
It's a very familiar name, but it's a unique one.
Yeah, it's annoying me now. Mitch Kupchak.
Yes, Mitch Kupchak.
That guy. That guy.
So we'll see. And the Hornets, I think they're smarter since they got such good production out of PJ Washington, which was a good pick. They have nice young guards. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. So those are the 2 big. Fred VanVleet is the big free agent that I see a lot of fans want to target, which I am hugely against.
Right. I don't think it doesn't bring you closer to the ultimate goal.
Yes. And again, if we had maybe if we already had we great player, let's say we have Cade Cunningham next year, hypothetically, then of course I want Fred VanVleet because then we actually have something going. We have where the car is moving, but right now we're kind of stuck in the abyss right now.
It's like getting Fred VanVleet is just a step above getting Terry Rozier. You didn't even want to.
I would say Fred VanVleet is good amount better than Terry Rozier, but it's that same idea. It's where Fred VanVleet might win us a few games against trash teams that are tanking.
Right, and
I don't want those wins.
I remember having this conversation with you a year ago where I asked if you want Kemba Walker, and you said no. So, So if you were doing, level 1 is Terry Rozier, level 2 Fred VanVleet, level 3 Kemba Walker. You didn't even want Kemba Walker. Of course, you don't want Fred VanVleet, and I think you're right.
Yeah, but again, this is just kind of my narrow kind of way of thinking. Of course, there are different ways. The Heat, where they have Butler now, and they have a really good squad, and now they're poised to sign really good players in 2021, right? That's definitely a one way you can do it. But the Heat are blessed in the way that they have such a good organization. They already have pieces to complement stars that are not there yet. Right. We don't have those pieces. If we had signed Kemba and KD or Kyrie and KD, we have no pieces to put around them. Right,
for sure. No, I agree. I think you guys should just buy the bullet for a couple of years and then exactly. Sure. Right now, signing good role players is just not the way.
I mean, signing good role players, I'm not entirely against it. I immediately Fred VanVleet, I'm kind of against it because I think he's going to be very costly.
Yeah.
If he was cheap, I would not mind at all because he's an asset we can trade away immediately.
He wouldn't go to New York if it was cheap, though.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. If he was cheap and we sign him, great. We'll just trade him for good picks or another young player that's kind of needs to development or whatever. But I think he's going to be expensive, and I think the cost is not going to be worth it. Yeah. But continuing on from that point, what was I going to say? For if we sign Kyrie and KD, we wouldn't be yes, we have decent role players like Bullock, Linton.
Can I really want to. We should just start playing that whenever we do this part of the pod where we're talking about the Knicks. We should just have that clip of Kanye's Wolves and Stephen A. Smith in the background where he just goes, "I am having a very bad day."
That's me as a Knicks fan every day, even in the offseason.
I feel you.
Anyway, I want to now move on to more of the players we have now and what the hell we do with Randall and DSJ.
What a depressing subject.
Yeah, I know. Well, the Knicks are just depressing overall. Except my boy Mitchell Robinson, the light in our shadow.
I thought it was Kevin Knox. What happened?
It was never Kevin Knox.
Yeah. You were trying to put me on him, though.
You know what? In retrospect, I'll say this. I was wrong about Kevin Knox. And even though I wanted Mikal, I was relatively happy with the Knox pick because, again, it goes back to something I mentioned, which was we should be risk takers, not risk givers.
No, I definitely. You go with Mikal, you're guaranteed a good role player. You go with Knox, you kind of have an upside. But it's like if you take two small fours and then you take Mikal Bridges, and when you're on Photoshop, you hit like inverse color. If you inverse Mikal Bridges, what you get is Kevin Knox.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. And like I was fine with the Knox pick because he has like that ceiling, right? But I don't think he'll reach it.
Yeah, I mean that's what you're supposed to do. You're not you don't have any team that you're like piece you're building around, so you're looking for that piece to build around. So you should go for the high ceiling.
Yeah,
I don't hate
exactly.
I don't hate
totally. Like, and it's fine. We rolled the dice, didn't work out. It's all good. We move on, and that's why I want to roll the dice on LaMelo, even though people say LaMelo, there's so many downsides and whatnot. Yes, there are downsides. His shooting's not good. His decision making can be better, but I think his positives kind of outweigh negatives, and he has a lot of intangibles. But anyway, moving on to kind of like because since we have so many team options, right? Right now, I'm looking at Taj Gibson. I think we should keep Taj. We'll pick up the option next year. He has a $10 million option, and I would pick it up. Why? Because I don't want us to have cap space. Why? Because I think we'll fuck it up, frankly.
Oh man, yeah, that's just hearing this just makes me sad.
I'm sad all the time, but not just because of that. I also really like Gibson as like a vet for us.
Yeah,
I think he had a great impact on Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah,
and Mitch is our future.
Right, and name a more iconic duel than Taj Gibson and Tom Thibodeau.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they're already years and years, right?
Yeah.
But so
what do you think about Bobby Portis?
You know what? That is a really tough one. I wouldn't pick up the option just because he's worth so much.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind picking up the option just because going back to it, I don't want to like sign significantly good players.
Mm-hmm.
I think Portis is like serviceable, but the thing is, if we pick up Portis's option, I definitely want to get rid of Randall.
Right.
If we don't, then we can keep Randall.
How are you going to get rid of Randall?
That's a good question. I would dump him for like basically anything. I want like a point guard. Right. Think like T.J. McConnell,
right,
or Sadaransky on the Bulls. If we can somehow dump Randall and get someone like Sadaransky, and we'll take on like someone undesirable, I'd be very happy.
Like who on the like Otto Porter?
Yeah, but I think the Bulls actually want to keep Otto Porter.
He regrets.
I would love Otto Porter. Like that's a great deal. Like give me Otto Porter. I'll throw in maybe like DSJ or a second or something like that. Something it's like some value, but not a lot.
I don't think the Bulls will take that at all, though. Maybe. Actually, Bulls lack size.
So Randall is not size.
Right, that's fair. Yeah,
but I don't mind taking Randall because we can just dump him the next season.
Right, for sure.
I don't mind not having cap space though, because there's not a lot of bad contracts out there, except one bad contract that I'm looking at is Horford. Right. I want Horford.
Right, for sure.
Which, people may be like, why do you want Horford? He's such a bad contract. He's a perfect big next to Mitch.
Right.
He can play the 4. He can shoot threes. He can play the 5. Well, I don't know what is there not to like other than the obvious.
Right, for sure. And you know what? You can get Horford and build up a little bit of value.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. And Horford, is a vet. Like Horford and Randall and Gibson, it's like kind of not make sense. But I'm hoping that I get rid of Randall somehow. Like I'll throw in an asset. Like maybe we'll get less assets from Philly to get rid of Randall and just take on Horford. You know what I mean? Like maybe Philly will give us like a late first, and then they'll give Thibault to someone who's taking on Randall.
If Philly gets Randall, I think Philly is blowing it up.
No, I mean obviously Philly's. I mean it's gonna be a 3-teamer.
Right. Okay, that's fair. Somebody
we get Horford and maybe like a low first or like something along those lines, and then a team that takes on Randall gets Thibault and like maybe like another like asset. Maybe we give him like another second or something.
For sure. No, those are. I mean, I think the Knicks are in kind of a annoying situation for any team to be in. Is that it's bad and you have no one with a super big upside other than other than Mitchell Robinson. So he is like, I think we're still in a league in which defense is underrated, right? So I felt like he is the only untouchable player in your team, and if you're building around, even if you build around him, I think he showed a lot of flashes. I think he showed a lot of promise, and I think he has a high ceiling. I like this player, but do the front office see that? I don't know.
I think the front office does see it. And you know what I really like about Mitch is that it's very easy to build around him. There's really nothing to build. Like, yes, you maybe need like an extra shooter because Mitch can't shoot threes, but that's okay because he does everything else. And this year, his free throws have gotten a lot better.
Right. Oh wait, there's RJ. What am I saying?
Oh yeah, but RJ, I don't see that him having like a lot of upside.
I will say, Larry. I will say, give him one more year.
That's fair. That's fair. The thing with RJ is that he's kind of like one-dimensional, which I don't like.
Right. Well, he's very young, and I think
his young is definitely the huge positive.
And he's
younger than Cole, I think, or like around the same age.
Yeah, exactly. He's younger than Cole, and he's got the body and he's got the work ethic. I think he has a good attitude. He came from a basketball family that is very
attitude thing, definitely
disciplined, and I like the kid because did you watch that game against McGill?
Yes, I did.
You asked me,
bro. We should have went to that game. I was telling you. I remember messaging you that summer. I was like, "Yo, bro, we should check out Zion, RJ," and you're like, "Nah, bro."
I was. Yeah, I don't even remember what I was doing, bro.
Oh, that would have been great, man, to see that game.
Yeah. Listen, those were some
the future of the league, really.
I mean, listen, you told me to go to a lot of things I didn't go to, and I feel real bad. Like, I wish I went because, like, I remember Pablo asked me to go see Bill Burr. And
I forgot about that.
I didn't go see Dave Chappelle and who was it? Dave Chappelle and I didn't see Chappelle and we didn't go to the 88 Rising concert neither, man.
No, we didn't. But that was in Toronto, right?
No, that was in Montreal.
It's in Montreal, damn.
Yeah, we didn't go, bro.
Damn, rip.
Man, could have got a picture of my boy Cy P.
True, bro. That's true. It's all good. It's all good.
Chanel, Coco, Chanel.
Anyway, that's just like my general thoughts. Maybe like some quick thoughts. Bullock, I think it's an obvious keep. No, that's a no-brainer. We keep this guy. Mm-hmm. If some teams want to give us asset, great. We'll give away Bullock. No problem. Right. Dotson. Dotson is an obvious keep as well. You know me. I love Dotson. He's our MJ basically.
Who's our other guy? Who's your other bench bum?
Alonzo Trier. We already got rid of him, sadly.
What happened to him? Did you guys cut him?
I don't know, man. I don't think the front office ever liked him, sadly. But I loved him.
You guys cut him, right?
We cut him. It's pretty sad.
Yeah.
But you know what can you do? We burned that bridge, sadly.
Right.
We should. I think Damian Dotson and Trier was like a solid bench for us.
For sure.
But it's all good. I mean, we think again, like to any fans are like, they're so bad or whatever. Like, I want a tank again.
Right. What about Wayne Ellington?
He's gone. I think he's gone. We're not going to keep him.
Right, fair. I think he's
unless he wants to sign for cheap, which I don't mind.
He's unrestricted, ain't
he? We have a team option on him.
I see. Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, he wasn't really not good this year, but I mean, he might come back. But again, the problem is we have too many guards.
Yeah,
we have 8 guards or 7 guards right now.
Watch you guys get Anthony Davis after he wins the chip.
I don't want Anthony Davis though because it doesn't help us win the championship.
True. Yeah.
If we had Doncic, of course I want Anthony Davis, but we have no one.
Get Anthony Davis and trade for Chris Paul.
That sounds horrible, and that's my nightmare, frankly.
Yeah, I'm playing. But yeah, no, that's good thoughts. I felt like it's just a depressing situation for any fan to be in, I think.
I mean, this is a situation that could have been entirely avoided easily, but unfortunately,
y'all did that 3D chess though, that 4D chess play though with Marcus Morris. So I like that.
Oh yeah, for sure, that was cool, but that was something our front office didn't want to do until I think Perry was like, "Yo, let's actually trade more."
Yeah, that's a high IQ move, like telling people you're gonna build your team around Marcus Morris, and everybody's like, "Oh shit, they're gonna build around Marcus Morris," and then Clippers gave you a first for it.
Yeah, but you have to. But that's kind of a small scale move, right?
Yeah,
I'm looking at why did we let Phil Jackson trade KP?
Right.
Why didn't we tank for Doncic?
Yeah, I'm saying the Marcus Morris, like the bluff with Marcus Morris was definitely a good move from you guys.
I don't think that was a bluff. I think
Mills genuinely wanted to build around Marcus Morris.
Yeah, I really think so.
If you want to build around Marcus Morris and you are an NBA exec, please give us your job.
Again, like I wouldn't mind getting Morris like this offseason.
But build a team around Marcus Morris?
No, but like not build around him. But I wouldn't mind signing him for maybe like 2 years.
Right, but
and then trading him again.
I remember there was literally an article saying someone from the Knicks front office saying we are going to build our offense around Marcus Morris.
Yeah, I know, but like, I'm saying like next year.
Right, fair.
Like I wouldn't mind bringing him back, and then maybe if the team wants him, then we'll trade him. But I wouldn't mind Morris. I liked his
right
toughness, and I think it rubbed off on RJ
for sure. Okay. So anything else?
Yeah, it's just Dennis Smith Jr. and our guard problem.
I don't even.
Again, that's kind of why I want to cut Ellington, because we have an excess amount of guards. I think we had like 8 guards in the entire season.
What do you do with Dennis Smith Jr.?
I mentioned I would just cut him, just to forget about him.
Ever since he got that J. Cole shout out, he's been trash, huh?
I think he's been trash since his second year.
Right. He was
maybe it was first year. His first year wasn't that good.
His first half of his first year was really electric.
Yeah, but the second half was terrible. Right. Which is fair. Like rookies, fall off because they're tired or whatever. But I thought his second year was really bad. And then we traded for him.
I think I pity him. I think he is. Well, I'm not pitying him. He's a millionaire. But
I don't pity. I feel bad because he's in a bad situation.
Exactly.
But
I feel
it's also your fault because you playing like garbage.
Right, and I felt like he went through a lot of hardship personally, and I felt like just being out of the rotation just gave him even less time to develop as a prospect, and I really feel terrible. But at the end of the day, it's a make or miss league, right? You are in charge of your own destiny at that point. Like you have to give every game that kind of effort, and you have to kind of develop where your game is lacking. And I don't think he showed any of that improvement in the 3-4 years he's been in the league.
Yeah, and again, like this is also on the organization as well, because we don't put players in positions to succeed.
Exactly. So why
do we sign Peyton when we have like 3 point guards already or 4 point guards?
Exactly. If you're gonna,
makes no sense.
Why don't you just throw DSJ in and give him 30 minutes a game if you're tanking anyway?
Like we'll lose games, great, but we can kind of evaluate DSJ properly. Now we can't even evaluate him properly because we don't play him.
Yeah, watching all these Knicks games with you all these years, man, I'm just annoyed. Like, why? Why you get all these prospects and you don't give them a chance to fucking shine? Because think about it, there's no downside. You don't have a team for a playoff, so you might as well play all your youngest guy as many minutes as possible. And if you lose, great, high pay. If you win, okay, now your youngest have value. Like, what is the downside?
But bro, the problem is that like, I remember talking to you about our last offseason, which was obviously a disaster, right? Like it was pretty obvious. I think the worst signing was Peyton of all of them.
Really?
Because it just made our guard rotation even worse.
Right.
Because Peyton, like now, because essentially before Peyton came in, we have DSJ
right.
and Frank, right, as our 2 like kind of like backup point guards.
Right.
And then we also have guards in Alonzo Trier. We also had Dotson as well.
Right.
Which is fine. Like I think I wouldn't mind DSJ starting just because I want to lose games. Ellington and Peyton both like really killed our guard rotation, and as a result, like Dotson, who's like a solid player who I like, can't play minutes.
Right. And I like Dotson. I think he's a good defender.
No, I love Dotson. He's like kind of like hot and cold off threes. Mm-hmm. But he's like really like good defender, like good team defender.
Yeah. It's like
and like makes the right pass.
Why would you get these old journeymen to take up minutes for young guys? I don't understand. I don't know what they're doing.
But again, Dotson is old. Dotson is 26, man.
Oh,
like 25. Okay. But like that's fine because he like kind of grew, like got drafted to the team. He's, I think, our longest tenured player, along with Frank.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding.
Oh shit!
Like I want these guys to like build a culture for themselves.
Right, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't understand what the team is doing.
Neither do I.
It's a lot of stupidity, and I'm gonna say out loud, like, I think half the organization should lose their jobs.
Hey man, I've been saying that since I became a fan, but what can you do?
MSG, you want to call us? We here. We're not that far. Well, he's in the city.
Call me. I'm in the city. I'll come to work from home or whatever.
Yeah,
I'll take the MTA train down to Penn Station.
Yeah. Y'all wanna scout? I can do it remotely. Like just let me know. Give me that call. God damn.
I live 20 minutes from the practice facility in Westchester. I'm right there.
Hey, you can be a body too, right? You can go start lift with. We can go lift with the players, right? I don't think Mitchell Robinson. I don't think Mitch can fucking bench 185.
I don't want Mitch to start benching OD because I think his speed is what makes him good.
Facts. But I want a little bit of meat on his bones.
Yeah, I feel that. That's the thing. Like that's kind of why. Like that's the only good. Well, it's not even a good thing about Toppin, but I'm thinking like a Toppin like player where they're like big.
Right.
Like, Toppin's big, but he can't defend. Right.
I think with Mitch, I want him to play pick and roll. And
yeah, he does. But his picks are not good, which is an issue. His picks are. He's just like not really good at setting picks. That's why I'm kind of
the reason why he's not good at setting picks is he's too small. He needs to get a little bit more jacked,
I don't want him to lose on his mobility.
Just a little bit, like maybe a bit less than Gobert, just not a skeleton man.
Yeah, but that's why I want Baines to kind of make up for that.
Yeah,
for that
no, I see Baines as a good option for you guys for sure.
Like that's the kind of player we need, like Baines, maybe like TJ McConnell, not like Fred VanVleet, where like we're like okay, actually gonna win games. We're close to winning games,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like all the pieces are there,
Yeah, we're like we'll win some games, and maybe we have another big piece. Like okay, we're actually gonna win games.
Exactly. It's like like free agents. Look at my role players. Yeah, you like what
we're kind of competent. We have Baines who's doing good, and McConnell, right?
Right, which is exactly what the Nets did to get Kyrie and KD, right? They're like, oh, look at LeVert, look at Joe Harris, look at Rodion Kurucs, whatever. Look at Jared Allen. You like what you're seeing? Like, you want to come get in a piece of this? Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Like, that's what you should do as a team. That's a great move by the Nets, by the way. But
yeah, but again, like. I don't know about signing. Like, even if I was like the Nets fan, I don't know if I'd be a big fan of Kyrie and KD.
Right.
But I understand why they did it because they like need fans, and why not build like a competent squad, right? Because if Beal, like someone like Beal, suddenly becomes available for trade, then suddenly if you get Beal, like wow, you actually win a championship, right?
Right. And we don't know what Kyrie and KD is capable of, because
that's true. Like maybe like CJ's, like any like decent stars available, all of a sudden you can really improve the team a lot.
Like injuries add up, and for KD, I think KD will be okay, but I don't know about Kyrie because injuries do add up.
Yeah, that's true.
So I hope they're gonna play well still, just for us as neutral fans. I mean, you're a hater, but
for what?
Like you hate the Nets.
Oh, I mean, you know that like picture from what's that show? Show like in the 80s with the guy as like an ad like guy. You know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Think of the Nets. Like I don't care what they do.
Okay.
If the Nets are the most popular team in New York, great. Maybe we can finally take in peace for the next 5 years, and then we'll finally. You know what I mean? Like if the Nets are good and popular, fantastic. It really doesn't affect me.
Right.
Like, own the city. Like I know Nets fans like we're gonna take over the city, bro. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I feel you. Nah, I agree.
All right. Some heat off their backs.
Any other thoughts on the Knicks closing thoughts?
Yeah, no, that's it. I just hope we can tank. Maybe one of these years, the next 10 years, we'll get a good pick.
Right.
But again, like my kind of take is just keep our trajectory of which we should be starting now.
Right, for sure. And yeah, sounds good. So I'll talk a little bit about the Suns.
Yeah, for sure.
But before I do, if you are a Timberwolves fan, and if you ever look my way and you say, how does Culver Okogie and a first sound for Devin Booker, I'm going to punch you straight in your fucking jaw. Don't ever talk to me or my son ever again. But with that being said, I think we're in a good position, right? I think we're in a good position where we show the league that we have a competent squad. We're well coached. Monty Williams is doing a good job. Devin Booker stepped up major. He started taking over. I think he's at the age where I'm expecting him to, and he's still very, very young. Devin Booker is, I think, 23, right? 23 years
which is
old.
Crazy. But I think he's got to start stepping it up soon.
Yeah, and you know what? But he's starting to date Kendall Jenner. So I don't know, but so
busy man.
Yeah, so I'll do what you did, which I'm going to talk about a little bit about the popular requests. So
sure.
Throughout the season, what I realized the Suns fans have been talking about is Aaron Gordon, and I like Aaron Gordon. I think he's a good fit, but we have to look at the price tag and the fact that he's on the decline. And I do think his decline is kind of on the situation he's in with rising star like Jonathan Isaac. taking his lunch money. And you also have to look at the injury tag. Like his knee is glass. I don't know if I want that. He is still
Is he a free agent or are you guys trading for
him?
I see. Okay.
And I don't think we want to give up any of our core pieces. As I said earlier, I think Rubio, Booker, Bridges, Oubre, Ayton, and Cam Johnson should not be touched under any circumstances. And I think the rest are not, nearly as, looks as good as. But now we have the 10th pick, and we have Ty Jerome, and I like Ty Jerome. I think Ty. I really hope we give him another chance, because people are not happy with his performance this year. But honestly, I think it is a good kid, and I think he's got the skill set. He just need to get rid of his jitters, and I think he shows some flashes. I think we should give him a chance. But if we're gonna trade him, he's our most tradable piece with because Saric is a free agent and Baines is free agent. Frank has a team option. I don't think we'll pick up Frank unless we're trading him. So I want to keep Javon Carter. I want to keep maybe Cameron Payne. I think Cameron Payne has earned a 1 year or 2 year with a team option, just from that 8 games. But what we really need is a big man. And I was looking at some of the free agents, and may I suggest a Serge Ibaka? I really like that player. I really like Ibaka.
I don't think Serge Ibaka will leave Toronto.
I don't think he would either, and I love him, I hope I run into him one day.
But no, I'm a big fan of him as well.
I would love to see Serge Ibaka next to DeAndre Ayton. I would love that. And as a backup too. And he's making 22, but he obviously won't make that anymore. So I would give him 25 for 2. I'll give him 25 for 2 with player option for sure. And may I introduce? May I say something like Derek Favors? I would give Derek Favors.
I don't like Derek Favors, man.
I
really don't like Derek Favors on any team that wants to win games. You want to go to conference finals? Don't sign Devin. Favors.
We need some toughness though.
I think Ibaka, yes. I think Ibaka really makes sense, but I don't think Favors.
I'm saying Favors if we cannot get Ibaka.
Okay, all right, fair.
And I don't want to go.
Is he available? Is he a free agent?
Yeah.
Is he only on 1 year in NOLA?
No. He was on a 4-year contract in Utah, I think. And
but how many but he's on New Orleans now. But how long?
No, this is unrestricted this year.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm only talking about UFAs, and
Okay, got you.
And please do not go after Paul Millsap.
I like Millsap. I like Millsap for you guys, though. I wouldn't mind.
We're going to overpay him. He's making 30 this year.
And he's old. He's not gonna be that expensive.
But you're not gonna be able to. You're not gonna be able to get him down from 30 to what I want to pay him, which is 8.
Okay, all right. I mean, 8 is a little.
Yeah, I don't
want a little cheap,
but maybe 10 for 20 for 2. But he would be 37 years old. I don't want that. I don't know. He's 35 right now. That's too old for me. I think I don't want to pay anything more than 5 to 8. But I don't know. And at the center, this is power forward. So also another thing people have been talking about that I saw on the R Suns Reddit is that Lauri Markkanen. That's very interesting for the pick and Ty Jerome, because Markkanen has slowly fallen out of favors with the Bulls organization, right? And I think he will be a great addition next to DeAndre Ayton. I would love to see that. I would love to see Lauri with Ayton. I think they are skill set matches well, and I think 10th pick, and I think the 10th pick and Ty Jerome maybe add a little bit more. Maybe I wouldn't, because his value is at all-time low. I would love for that to happen if I can get Lauri.
I don't value Lauri that much for the 10th.
I don't, but the 10th pick.
I'd rather have someone like Cole or Hayes.
Killian Hayes for Lauri Markkanen? I would. Maybe. It's an interesting.
You guys need to afford that badly. I don't think you guys are in that.
No,
I'd rather have someone off the bench than
we need paint protection.
Does Ayton not give you paint protection?
Yes, he does. But when there are double teams drawing him out, we need somebody else that will cover it. And it's oftentimes in our play is that we see Ayton's a good defender. He changes shots, but when he is drawn out of the paint, if there's a cutter, the person coming to cover is Dario Saric or Ricky Rubio. That's not going to block any shots. I want someone. I want some body. I want some body on that. So I'm looking at other potential, bench center options that we desperately need after Baines. Baines is out for sure because either we're gonna overpay him because his values at the all-time high right now. I wouldn't mind Bismack Biyombo on a very low contract. Right?
I like Biyombo for you guys. That brings you toughness and paint protection.
Exactly. But
I'd rather have Biyombo than Lowry for you guys.
He's making 18 this year.
So, is he a free agent? He's not like, but I remember when he got signed. That was
that's when he popped up against
2016, I think.
Yeah, Toronto against Cleveland. Oh my god, that dude.
Yeah, so like he got overpaid, but he's not gonna get paid as much.
Right. So I will give him 5.
5? Okay, all right. I don't know about that. I'm thinking like maybe like 6 or 7.
Yeah, 5 to 8 is what I was saying.
Maybe 8. Yeah, I think 8 is.
Depending on how desperate we are. But I think our squad presents a really good opportunity for a lot of role players to shine because it's well coached and we have a clear core. And I don't know. But maybe a Robin Lopez. I will love that. It's a player option, but I think he would.
Is that toughness though? Does that bring you toughness?
I like Robin Lopez, man. He looked like a fun time.
I really like him as well, but he brings you really good like versatility. But I don't know about toughness.
He's a good defensive-minded player. I wouldn't mind him. But Ian Mahimi on a minimum, maybe.
Ian Mahimi. Oh, I like that.
On a minimum,
I like that. Like a third string backup.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind.
Finally, his Washington fans cheering, crying into their beds with tears of joy. Finally, unrestricted free agent this year, Ian Mahimi with a $60 million contract. Whoever gave him that should be shot. Jakob Perdo from the Spurs.
Toronto legend.
Yeah, Toronto legend. Kyle O'Quinn. I wouldn't mind O'Quinn, your boy.
I love O'Quinn. That's another player I want, actually. Yeah. I forgot about is O'Quinn. I love him as a backup for Mitch.
For sure.
And one more thing is that we should trade him in 2016 or
his
17.
value was high, yeah.
His value wasn't high, actually, but it was just like we were just like too good, you know what I mean? Like winning too many games.
Nerlens Noel. Another one that I wouldn't mind.
I think where is he now in Dallas, right?
Okay.
OKC. Yeah. But I think he's gonna stay in OKC, right?
But it's an unrestricted free agency.
I see. Okay, that's true.
I think he has more chance to shine, but maybe. I think OKC is pretty much a better Phoenix at this point, right? So
yeah,
with the same time.
I would say I think you guys want a vet more than someone who's trying to make their career. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, exactly. So Ibaka will be what I'm going for with 20 million.
Ibaka, I think, is the ideal situation.
Right, but I don't. He's in such a good position in Toronto right now.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm looking at guards, right? Free agent guards. Jeff Teague, get the fuck away from me. All right. Ken Bazemore, please leave. Right. But I'm looking at the guards, and there are some interesting names that are coming out. I wouldn't mind. Tony Snell is a player option, but he would definitely opt in. I wouldn't mind someone like Jordan Clarkson. Maybe.
I don't know about that. I think this is an anomaly year for Clarkson.
I
don't think he'll be as good on another team.
Fred VanVleet wouldn't hate that, and
Fred VanVleet would be perfect for you guys. Please sign Fred VanVleet before we overpay him.
I would love Fred VanVleet, and Bogdan Bogdanovic is a restricted free agent. I don't know what his market value is actually because Sacramento is such a fucking mess.
I think Bogdanovic could be really good for you as well.
Joe Harris is another person I really want to go for, but he is.
That's another player I want to go for as well.
But that's a hotcake, Everybody wants him. Who doesn't want Joe? Who doesn't want Joe?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Good, not overvalued, good shooter. Who doesn't want that?
Cheap, and cheap. That's the biggest part.
A cheap option would be Bryn Forbes from the San Antonio Spurs, and maybe
VanVleet would be really good, but VanVleet is kind of on cue to get paid.
Right.
I don't know if you guys can afford him. I don't know what your contract situation is like.
I think we do. We are able to afford him, but I think we can give him 15.
How many years though?
I will give him 2+1.
Is it player or team option?
I would give him team, I think.
You mean give yourself team?
I'll give myself team option 2+1.
I don't know if he'll take that. I think he can get a 4-year contract.
If I was him, I wouldn't take that. But if I was the Suns,
I wouldn't take that either.
If I was the Suns, that would be the correct market value I'd give him.
I think the Knicks can beat that contract.
Well, good. Yeah. I mean, but yeah, I think what we're going for this summer is winter is a spark plug and an enforcer. So Serge Ibaka and Fred VanVleet will make amazing additions. I think that will immediately make us a 6th seed contender, mid playoff contender. And
I don't know, man. The West next year is going to be insane. I don't know how you guys are going to even make the playoffs again.
If we have
be close,
if we have VanVleet and Ibaka, we are better than the Blazers and the Grizzlies and I think OKC is going to fall off.
Yeah, I agree. OKC is going to fall off. But let's just run through it, right? So Rockets, I think we'll make Rockets 1, Clippers that's 2, Lakers that's 3,
Golden State that's 4.
I'm sorry.
Golden State that's 4.
That's 4. Mavericks that's 5. Nuggets. Clippers? I think Nuggets 6. I would say Nuggets make it.
Did you say Clippers?
I said Clippers.
Okay, Nuggets 6, Utah 7.
Utah 7.
I think we're 8 if we get VanVleet Ibaka
over Portland. That's interesting.
If we get Ibaka and VanVleet, that's definitely over Portland. And we have the space for Ibaka and VanVleet if the situation is right.
Maybe even Wolves will be in that position because they'll have a first pick.
I am not a huge fan of Karl Anthony Towns. I think he's talented.
Neither am I really. He's really good, but not kind of the Mike archetype, I guess.
Was he ever an All-Star?
I think so. Yeah, he was at least once. He was All-Star.
Second. He was in 2018 and 2019. But I'm not. I don't know. I don't think he's a winner. I'm with Jimmy on this one.
Yeah, I agree.
I think
they might win a lot of regular season games, right? Because at the end of the day, you gotta win regular season games.
That's true. That's true with D'Lo and a lot of really good, D'Lo, Culver, Okogie. Now that Jeff Teague is out, I don't know. It does not look.
I wouldn't include Culver in that list, but yes, essentially that's the idea.
Right, and it's not looking good for the Suns if we want to make playoffs, but I think we should still make that push because obviously there's no other option, right? So yeah, I'm here hoping.
I agree. You guys shouldn't be moving pieces right now. Don't be like Philly. Don't get desperate.
Right, for sure. But yeah,
I would say the mistake with Philly is they didn't bet on Embiid and Simmons improving, which is right so far, I guess. But I think at least for Philly, all their problems are solved if Simmons becomes a better shooter, right? And Embiid becomes maybe slims down, becomes faster. And I think similar to the Suns, it's you're basically betting on Booker balling out even more than he was this playoffs or this bubble games, and Ayton keep on getting better with McCall and Cam getting better as well.
For sure. And I agree. And also my friend just messaged me telling me to say Houston in 4 in the podcast. I think Houston in 4 game sweep in the second round. They're just gonna get sent home, go fishing in the second round, maybe.
Oh, against the Lakers?
Yeah, Houston's going to fuck home.
Bro, I don't know, man. Covington on LeBron, I like that.
Yeah, who gonna stop AD though? Who gonna check him?
Tucker, I guess.
Yo, AD on Tucker is gonna be like a high schooler on the elementary school, dude. Just gonna be hold the ball above his head. What's he gonna do?
That's crazy. You know what's crazy is that you would think that with the seeding, Clippers would be playing the Rockets, right?
Yeah.
The Clippers actually have the easiest path to the finals.
Yeah, I was not thinking about it, but the Clippers is showing. Paul George, just what's he doing?
Paul George is better than you make it sound, man. He's not that bad.
I don't like Paul George. I don't.
He's just been playing he'll bounce back. I trust.
Why is he a good player?
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, but why is that worth a max? I don't get it. What about him is so good? Even back in the Pacers days, I don't see him his best season was OKC last year, where he averaged 28 points, 8 rebounds. Okay, that's pretty good, 8 and 4 assists with 2.2 steals. That's really good. But if you just consistently choke in the playoffs, what are you? Like what is?
It's fine, Terry. He has a playoff non-choker in Kawhi. Like Kawhi's gonna be a beast in every game.
Yeah, but
man.
Kawhi deserves a better, like, you know what I mean? Like, look at him. 2015, 2016, played 7 games, first round exit. 2016, 17, 4 games, first round exit. 2017, 2018, 6 games, first round exit. Like 2018, 2019, 5 games, first round exit. Like that's 5 years in a row where he's a primary, like one of the main players, and it's just keep first round exit, and then when he actually had made the playoff runs in Indiana, where he played 19 games in 2 years in a row, that he wasn't valued as a max player then. I think he takes away salary cap because he is overvalued right now. Because I think he is a good third option, but people think a decent third option.
He's the second option.
In what team though? He's not in every.
On the Clippers. The Clippers can win the championship with him as a second option.
All right, I hope you prove me wrong, but in the last 4 years where he's the first or second option, he has not done anything. But when he was a third option,
but Kawhi is better than any player he's been playing with.
That's facts. You know, I can't hate on that. And you know what?
I get what you're saying. Like he's underperforming in the playoffs. But it's Kawhi, and Kawhi is like good enough. Like I see Kawhi as like as good as like LeBron essentially.
For sure. And even I mean. And the supporting cast is really good too. Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell,
yep.
Landry Shamet, Marcus Morris,
Beverly,
Pat Bev, yeah, for sure. And but you know the Clippers are showing me a really big weakness is that Boban Marjanovic is able to completely sauce on them. That shows. I just feel like
the Lakers don't have Boban. Like who's gonna be that guy for them? AD,
JaVale.
AD is not that tough.
JaVale McGee.
Dwight.
Yeah, Superman. You know, like I love it on the inside where Shaq is like, can you say it again? It's like Superman. That's just Dwight. Like in the All-Star when Dwight was in dunk contest, where it's like, he's like, what do you call him? You call him. It's like, what do I call him? He's dressed in the cape. He's like, you call him Dwight. But yeah, I don't know. It's You're a lot higher on the Clippers than I am.
Because of Kawhi.
Yeah, I mean, yes, Kawhi is an amazing player, but yeah, for sure. I think Paul George needs.
And also, like LeBron, like the Lakers are not as well constructed,
right,
as the Clippers, and as usual with LeBron teams, there's just so much instability.
Right. Yeah.
So you really never know. Like with the Warriors, like when they beat them 3-1, like coming back 3-1, like. They were really close to not coming back 3-1, and there was a lot of like instability going on with the team in the finals. Same with the Miami years, right? With the Spurs,
right?
Dallas.
I mean,
it's just I feel like that's just kind of like LeBron teams just kind of are unstable and are very on like thin ice almost, whereas the Clippers are like very solid to the ground.
Because LeBron is so great that it really everything becomes about LeBron. You know, you live and die by him, and I feel like just having that kind of pressure, just even for someone as great as LeBron, is that you play well, we win. You play poorly, we lose, and that's just I don't know how sustainable that is. And even
I keep going.
Oh, I feel like even with his co-stars, he gives that effect where he is so great that his co-stars start to rely on him and become worse players. I think like Chris Bosh used to be able to carry teams by himself, and so does Dwayne Wade. But when LeBron joined, they became supporting cast. Same thing goes with Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, for sure. And like you can point to like last year in Toronto, Kawhi carried Toronto for sure. But at the same time, he didn't carry them every single game. Right?
Exactly. Pascal
came through. Siakam came through. Lowry came through. Everyone came through. Gasol was key on defense.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe but that's why, right? It's like we're looking at LeBron, and LeBron's a great player, but LeBron's not the winningest player of all time, right? And I think that's why, because LeBron is so amazing that there's too much pressure on the guy. And
frankly, LeBron is just extremely unlucky.
Yeah, for sure.
He's just unlucky. Getting drafted by Cleveland.
No, he was lucky.
Imagine Jordan was drafted by Cleveland.
I mean, he was unlucky to be born in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I mean, Cleveland was very lucky to have a guy born like in you know what I mean, that just want to play for them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just what a lucky organization.
But you think, like, what if LeBron was in Toronto last year?
Yeah. What about that though? Would that make Toronto? I don't know. Weird things to think about.
I still think Toronto wins.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's like, I don't know. This is a weird thing to think about. But I think that the Cleveland is extremely lucky to have an athlete like this born in their city. I think is. I mean, obviously we know this, that he's more than Cleveland deserves, right?
I mean, it's just sad because I think LeBron's career could have been so much different, so much more different.
We're gonna get a lot of hate, aren't we? I mean, nobody's gonna listen to this that much.
But and you know, like it's not even trying like shit on Cleveland or whatever. I've never been there. I'm sure it's like a really nice place. It's just like you can't deny that Cleveland organization was far from, you know, the Warriors organization.
Yeah, for sure.
Or the Bulls organization, right?
They are definitely,
or even the Knicks organization in the '90s. Like, Ewing was like fortunate, like somewhat fortunate to get drafted by the Knicks because we actually, you know, put like decent players around him. Not enough, obviously, right? But we had a good coach in Pat Riley.
No, for sure. I agree. And yeah, I think Patrick Ewing also another super underrated player.
Yeah, what can you do? Anyway, the Houston Knicks series. That was the one, bro.
The Houston what series?
Knicks series. 94.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true. But I mean, I don't know. I just feel bad for the Knicks fans just these days, man.
We out here. It's all good.
Just struggles.
We're struggling. It's all good.
Is it though? You can cry if you want.
It's my daily dose of suffering, bro. I'm about to become Buddhist, bro, with all this suffering, man.
I honestly, like, how do you stay a Knicks fan? That's what surprises me, is that
I don't know, man. I just love the team. It's crazy.
But why? The team has done so many stupid things at every chance they got.
I mean, I love the players. I love Mitch.
Right.
That's about it. I just love Mitch.
No doubt, but like, still, you know what I'm saying? Like, why? Like,
I've said this to you before. It's yes, we're horrible. It's tragic. But like with the Knicks, it's like you're always thinking about like what you can do, and that's kind of the fun I found in it. Like, I don't think I would be as into basketball if I wasn't a Knicks fan. Because if I was a Toronto fan or a Warriors fan, I'd be like, oh, our team is just good. You know, great.
Right.
Let's just win games and watch them win. But a Knicks fan, I'm like, you know, how can we be good? Like, I'm always thinking about like, where's the arbitrage? Like, where can we find value?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, what's our future looking like? What's the direction we should take? And that kind of got me like really into the Knicks.
Right.
Because like
you kind of playing with a broken toy here, right?
Not necessarily a broken toy, but just kind of dreaming of the possibilities.
Right.
Fantasizing of what could have been.
What could have been.
Or what could be.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, what a situation to be in. I don't know. I just...
It's all good. Everything will be solved with the movement of time.
I mean, I hope for your sake, that's right.
Hey, man, I remember in junior year of college, I was like, I remember Pablo was like, yo, how many years do you think the Knicks can be good? And I said 10 years. So what year are we on? Year 3 now?
Five now.
No, in junior year, bro? No,
oh, junior year. I thought you said freshman. Oh, okay.
No, junior year. So we're on year 3. We got 7 more years to go.
There's a long life ahead of you, you know?
Hopefully, you know, on the trajectory that we're on, maybe I'll outlive Dolan. So maybe there's something there.
I mean, maybe you will, you know, they can hear the pod and wake up and hire you.
Oh, let's be real. Yeah. Let's be real here.
Yeah. They don't make smart decisions.
All right. I think that's it for the pod, right?
Yeah, that's it for the pod. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I think.
All right. Thank you for anyone who's listening.
And then next one, we will be kind of doing a more in-depth draft discussion, right? And
yeah, I think we can do a mock. Yeah. Maybe just like a mock for the lottery, and then I would love to mock some trades as well.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I want to do some. We can do some. You know what? Next time we'll do some homework and we'll do some very specific trade scenarios in which we can really dive into some of the trade options that we talked about and the specific contracts. And then let's see if we can put a ideal team together that's also realistic at the same time.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Peace
All right,
out.
peace, guys.